Mwah. Hello everybody, Lady Sumi here, and we are back for another book review. This is my second book review. It is actually the second book I have read this year. Guys, I haven't read this much, and I know it's only been 2 books, but I haven't read this much in years. I am so enjoying this. I am so glad that I actually decided to come on here and do this with you guys. It was intimidating at first, but it's getting a little funner as I go, and I cannot wait to share this with you. Today we're going to be reviewing Infinity by Ellen Curtis and Matthew LeDrew. This book, guys, is it's an easy read. It's not as complicated and there's no huge world building. There are quite a few characters that you still kind of have to wrap your head around, but that's nothing. The characters themselves are pretty easy to go with the flow with. I already have a Goodreads review up, so if you guys would like to see that, you can head on over to Goodreads and check out S.S. Yasumi, which is my author pen name, to see any reviews that I have for books if you don't really want to go through the videos. So here we go. This book is about a group of people who have special powers. This book follows mainly Chad, Abby, and Theo. And each of those characters in their own right are great characters. The book was intriguing enough. I left off at the end of this book with enough questions that I can't wait to start reading the next one. So overall, I did enjoy this book. The only problem I did come across is there are a couple of spots, a couple of things character-wise and story-wise that seemed a little bit rushed. That was the only problem that I did come across. Everything else was solid, guys. The very beginning of this book, at least 3/4 of this book, really follows Chad. And to get to the end of that part, it almost feels like it's the end of the book, but it's not. There's still like another 1/4 of the book to go. The chapters are pretty short, guys, so if you're one of those people that are like one more chapter before bed, you're probably going to really enjoy this because there's a short chapter and then you'll be like, yay, bed! Unless you're like me and then you're like, one more chapter, and another chapter, and then you didn't get sleep. Because that happens a lot. And the first 3/4 of this book had me going just like that. And like I said, after I got past the 3/4 of that part of the book, it felt like the end of the book. So the next little part, the last 1/4 of it, kind of threw me off a little bit, but not in a bad way. It just kind of continues on with the story. Now, when we get into the second book, I'm going to enjoy seeing where the characters that are in this, want to see where they left off. If you guys like supernatural things and you like superpowers and possibly superheroes based in real world sort of thing, you should enjoy this book. So check it out. Now, I'm going to put this down. We're going to get into the nitty-gritty. This is where the spoilers come in, guys. I've only done the one review before, and I realized that I really like to talk in depth about the books. So if you don't want any spoilers, get out of the video now. You got the basic. You should be able to kind of judge for yourself whether or not you want to read the book. But until then, don't go any further than this. Alright, guys, if you've stuck around this far, you want spoilers. You want to hear me talk about every aspect of this book, whether I liked it or not, and in depth. So again, we're going to be talking spoilers. We're going to start with talking a little bit about Theo and Abby. On the back of the book, it's very Abby oriented. You can tell that she's the main hitter in the overall-esque scene. It really feels like she's going to be the main person that we're going to follow and really try and dig deep into who she is and what she can do. At the beginning, it seems that Theo and Abby have a relationship going. Theo is telepathic, he can read minds, he already knows what it is that Abby can do, but Abby herself has no clue as of yet. This does cause a little bit of strife between the two. She I can't remember exactly what it was that she said to him, but she does say something to him regarding her power, and he kind of admits that yes, he knows, but he's not going to tell her. And and that pisses her off a little bit, so she leaves. Now, the reason she leaves is because earlier on, she's approached by a man named Hunter. This man named Hunter looks identical to her fiance, like her dead fiance, Jasper. And, this kind of seems to throw Abby for a loop. Now, this is the part that kind of, I felt, didn't build up for me. She, instead of asking all the regular questions that you would think one would ask, because I'm not quite sure how long ago Jasper did pass on, but it's been enough time that she's seen him dead. She's seen him. And it's like she doesn't question it enough. Who is this Hunter guy? Why does he look just like Jasper? Did Jasper have power? I'm wondering if Jasper had some sort of power, in which he reincarnates, maybe, or he has more than one identity, and we haven't found that out yet. And I'm wondering about that now, but the questions that would really run through my head, like on a personal level, my own, didn't really seem to go through hers. She was very drawn to him right away because he reminded her of Jasper, and I guess in some way she still, yearns to be with Jasper, even though she's with Theo, so she's clearly somewhat moved on. I was a little thrown off by the fact that she was instantly interested in Hunter on kind of a romantic level. I mean, she just breaks up with Theo, and she agrees to go with Hunter, who had come to take her to this guy that he's working for, a guy who's looking for special people with powers, and he sounds like he was specifically looking for Abby, so Hunter came to come get her, and she kisses him. I felt lost. I didn't feel connected to that relationship. I was just sitting there going, why? Why aren't you questioning this a little more? There's obviously something about this guy that's really important, and no one is asking those questions, and that bothered me. However, minus that, she does go with Hunter, and she meets Victor. Victor has been looking for people with special powers, special abilities, and he's trying to get them together as a group. It kind of seems like that he's out to save either the world or there's some bigger game player. Abby meets Victor, and right off the hop, she's dragged right into the fray and into helping Victor get to another person with special powers. This is where we're going to talk about the character Chad. Chad comes into it at the beginning of the book as well with Theo and Abby, because the chapters alternate back and forth between these characters. So you kind of get to see a little bit of everything. So I'm trying to go in order the best I can, but because they're so segmented, I'm trying not to say, oh, but this happened in between. So leaving Abby and Theo, them right where we left off, we're going to go to Chad. Chad is trying to support himself and his younger sister, Coy. And to do that, he's been playing poker. And he's very good at poker. He's pulling hands that are like 1 in a million sort of thing, and he's winning a lot of money. This is pissing off, I believe his name was Brent. It's pissing him off big time because he's the one hosting these parties. He's losing a lot of money. And he's an asshole. He's a complete asshole. When he starts losing a lot of money, he kidnaps Chad's sister, Coy, and Karen to try and get Chad to work for him. This is where Victor and Abby come into it. And Hunter. They come into it to do this little plot to get back Coy and Karen and to help Chad get Brent out of the picture, sort of thing. So, the story ensues there and the plot line ensues there. I won't say everything that happened there. But eventually, they figure out that what Chad can do is he has luck. Luck is on his side. Like, literally, luck sticks to him. He has really good luck. I don't know if it's a power that he's ever going to actually just be able to, like, you know, think about and then make something happen. But it's interesting right now because he didn't really know. That's why he was winning so well at poker, is because he has luck. He literally is lucky in general. So I thought that was actually pretty interesting because I've never really heard of a power like that before. But this is what I'm saying, guys. Ellen Curtis and Matthew Ladrew have come up with these characters and these interesting powers. You know, I know that the telepathic is not, you know, it's been done before, but I haven't really seen someone who's, like, lucky. Like, literally, just lucky. So after the ordeal between Chad and with his sister and Brent the asshole, after all that's over, we go back and we finally see Theo again. Because remember, at this point, Theo was left behind. You know, he got into that fight with Abby, and she left. She left with Hunter. So Theo goes looking for Abby. And along the way, he meets Lee. And I'm not 100% sure what it is Lee does, but she knows who Theo is. And because she worked with Abby at one point or time, and she knows who Theo is. So she kind of tells Theo in her mind when he's, like, telepathically trying to read her, she tells him where Abby is currently located, so he goes to find her. And Abby has been at Hunter's apartment, and it's been approximately 2 weeks since she's been gone missing. So Theo comes, and he gets almost, like, really emotionally upset, and he hurts himself. Lee finds him and takes him to an apartment and cleans him up and helps him out. I don't want to spoil 100% everything, although that was at least 90% everything. But you came here for spoilers. You got spoilers. That's it. Sorry. Totally just... I told you, I talk a lot. Totally talk a lot. I enjoyed the book. Hopefully a lot of questions that I had from Infinity will be answered in the next book, and if it's not answered there, I guess I'm just going to have to wait until the third book, which I also have a third book. Not sure if there's going to be a fourth book. If there is, I guess there's going to be more questions to keep it going. Alright guys, like I said before, I totally recommend this book for anybody who enjoys people with superpowers trying to potentially save the world from a high hitter of some kind. We'll find out eventually, I am sure. If you guys enjoy my reviews, please go ahead and hit subscribe down below so you don't miss another video like this one. If you have any suggestions, don't forget to leave a comment also down below. I will see you guys on the next video. Bye!